Hey, let's look at this card, man. Hey, first of all, this main event it's down the middle, man. Whoa, Charles, an underdog?
Oh, he been an underdog.
Oh,
this might be one of the best or biggest main cards ever, if you think about it.
Easily. Even just the last two fights. The last three fights, really.
I mean, because of the hype, because I think Islam is a little bit overhyped and overrated. But because of the hype and his following and stuff, I think it's one of the biggest main cards ever.
A lot of that is because of Khabib. Like, a lot of that is because that's his student and which Islam is not a bad fighter or anything like that, obviously. He's on a huge win streak, but the reality is for people to just think that he's going to smash Charles like that, it's like, if you look at the level of competition, dude, Charles has fought top 5 fighters and has dismantled them. Islam has been beating people that he's supposed to beat. You're beating the Judobers and the people who they're tough, but they're very beatable. They have a bunch of losses in the UFC for a reason on their record. And Charles is beating people who only lose to the top people. Like they fight each other, and Charles is beating all of them.
Yeah. Another thing is with Islam, I'm hearing all these stories about what he did to Khabib and training. I don't care about that. I care about what he's done in the UFC octagon.
Yep.
And he has done a lot in the octagon, but
against a certain level.
But I hate to say this because this fight is probably not going to happen. Well, it actually might happen if Islam win. But I would like to see Islam versus a Michael Chandler. I want to see him versus somebody who he can't take down. Okay, let me see that striking. Because people talking about Islam is the most well-rounded fighter ever. I'm not seeing that. I've heard people come out and say that, especially the people who Islam trained with. But that's training, though. He hasn't shown that in the octagon.
Once he got knocked out, which I'm not knocking him for, but once he got knocked out, he shied away from striking totally. Like, he don't play no games. And yes, Charles been finished early, but Charles started off as a pure jiu-jitsu person with a little bit of Muay Thai. And he still said, you know what, he got finished a few times, and then he got better, and now even Justin Gaethje was saying Charles the hardest hitter he ever faced. So Islam don't have that mindset. His mindset is, you know what, I'm just avoid the striking completely, and that's one of the reasons I think he's gonna lose when we do the full breakdown.
Yeah, but Islam is so cold on the ground too, so Charles got to keep this fight standing up, man.
Yeah, but by the time he go to the ground, it'll more than likely be because Charles drops him.
It's true.
Truth be told, and then at that point, Islam will be going for a takedown when he hurt. But that's gonna be a good fight, though. It's gonna answer a lot of questions, man.
I don't understand why he's not the champion, but he's the people's champion. Yeah. I don't understand why he's not the favorite. That's kind of odd that the odds are like that. But I mean, I guess Islam and his fan base so big that.
And technically, Charles, he won the belt against Michael Chandler. He would have defended against Dustin. And who else? Justin. So technically, this would be his third title defense if they didn't screw him over at the weigh-ins. So how can somebody who with, if you really look at it, with 3 title, coming up on his third title defense.
And Islam didn't beat nobody in top 5. So that's another thing is, like, you're a favorite.
And then look at who fight. This is who he should have fought. But that's, we'll get to
that. Yeah, we get to that in a little bit.
We got Aljamain and TJ. I can't wait to break this one down.
I said this like 6 months ago. When it's all said and done, TJ gonna be champion.
Yeah, you did say.
I don't know how he gonna do it.
Before we even started the podcast, I think we was having a conversation when we came up with the idea for the podcast.
But this just stylistically, just a weird matchup, man. Like, I don't know what each fighter can do to the other fighter, man. I don't know if TJ can. I don't know what TJ is going to do to Aljamain. I don't know what he can do.
Because let's be real, TJ looked awful against Corey. Now, again, when you hadn't fought in a few years, yeah, but why didn't you fight? You see what I'm saying? So we can't play that game of, well, he didn't fight for a little while, that's why he looked bad. Yeah, but he was doing something to make him look good while he was fighting, so that's why he wasn't fighting.
And it was odd because TJ's speed and power wasn't there. His movement is always there, but the speed and power wasn't there.
And the actual striking acumen was not there either. Like, he didn't look good. And that's why, like, I blame that fight on Corey, because it was a lot of what Corey didn't do and a lot of stuff that he did bad that gave TJ enough space to make an argument that he won. That was 100% on Corey. But TJ looked bad in that fight.
But at the same time, was it because he hasn't looked the same because of the testing? Or is it because of he did get injured in the first round?
he didn't look good up until that point. Truth be told.
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep it a buck with you. He didn't look good up to that point. The reality is, TJ Dillashaw is how old now?
He can't be older than 31, 32.
We're going to find out.
Just like I was saying, it's not on there, man. They don't show us nothing about the fighters.
Hold on. They got to have...
It's wins.
Huh.
That's odd. 32.
You would think
maybe.
they would have... Nah, I think he's older than 32. I'm finna look it up on my phone. He's definitely older than that.
But I was saying, though, like, can Aljamain Sterling submit TJ?
I don't think he can, but I think he can decision him.
Because TJ has the wrestling prowess, too, man, to negate that. But then again, is his wrestling defense better than Petr Yan? I don't think so.
Dude, TJ is 36 years old.
Dang, he just look young.
Y'all, that's what I'm telling you. People think this is not 2013, but like this is not TJ Dillashaw versus Renan Barão.
So what age got to do with this though? Like,
bro, he done had. Think about it. He was on the stuff in the first place. That there's effects that happen to your body when you're not on it. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to kind of stay on certain things, EPOs and stuff. Then in addition to that, you didn't fight for a long time. You came back and fought. You won a split decision that you didn't really win, and now the time is caught up with you. You got injured in that fight. You had injuries going into that fight, but you hadn't fought in a long time, so you still stayed in it. Mm-hmm. Man, that's a lot, man.
You know, I was thinking about TJ has to win this fight for two reasons. One, because his legacy. Because if he comes back and beat Aljamain Sterling, like when he's like not on nothing, it makes his legacy better. And the second reason TJ Dillashaw has to win this fight is because if you're the champion, you get to kind of cherry pick who you fight against. Yeah. Because if TJ loses fight, he's screwed. You fighting Song Yadong.
Oh, it's over.
He got to fight Murder's Road. But if he's a champion, I'm fighting the wrestler. I'm fighting, what's the guy named? The wrestler guy who fought Jose Aldo? I can't think his name. Marab. Yeah. I'm fighting Marab. You know, but I mean, that's
because then at that point he can make all the killers fight each other, and then he can cherry pick. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this guy kind of exposed you. Even though you won, he exposed you a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna fight you now.
What's his name? Ricky Simon. Yeah. Ricky Simon.
But I don't think you want to fight Ricky right now.
But Ricky is safer than everybody else.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know, Ricky.
These guys in the top 5, they killers. Like,
but I ain't gonna lie, a lot of them getting moved out, and a lot of these Rickies and stuff is coming through the ranks. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. They getting pushed out. They getting pushed out to top 5.
And you never know. Rob Font, you know,
he won't fight away from
you never know, man, because he get on a good streak, man, and before you know it, he'd have been won 4 or 5 in a row. But man, I just think, man, it's like stylistically, man, I think Aljamain is getting better, and we've seen that because when he first came to the UFC, he was very limited. He was just a grappler with mostly jiu-jitsu. I wouldn't even say wrestler. I would say like grappler, like a combination of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But he was really trying to get that submission. And the reality is now, man, his striking looked better. I mean, he got knocked out by Marlon Moraes, but man, ever since then,
that was a prime.
I know that was probably the last Marlon we saw. We ain't got him since. But the Aljamain has looked good up to that point. Now he looked bad against Petr Yan. But truth be told, the first one. But truth be told, Petr would have did that to TJ too. Like, let's not pretend like if the Petr Yan that beat Aljamain that first time, who was finna beat him, had fought that TJ that showed up last time, Petr Yan wins that fight 10 times out of 10.
And that's the issue I have with this fight, because TJ avoided that. He avoided like the Petr Yan. He avoided like the Cheeto, the Jose Aldo.
Why do the UFC love TJ so much? And it's been like this for a long time. Why do they like this dude? I just don't get it. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But
he's probably a good representative. Well, not now. He's not a good representative of the UFC now. But it's so odd, man.
I don't know what is the favoritism, because with the Renan Barão, like they made Renan fight him. Like they literally made.
I think it's his name. He got a big name though, man. If you think, like, a lot of people know who TJ Dillashaw is,
but at the time they didn't. Like that fight put him on the map, man. Like I just don't get. They pushed TJ more than John Dawson after John won Ultimate Fighter. I never understood that. Now I'm gonna say one thing: ain't nobody got more heart than TJ. But we can't pretend like Henry Cejudo didn't knock out TJ before he left too, man. Like he did get popped in a fight that he lost by knockout in the first round. And I don't know why people don't think about that, but like he was knocked out one fight ago.
So how did it affect? The same thing happened with Chad Mendez, like he failed the test, whatever. So imagine how that affects you psychologically when you get knocked out by Frankie Edgar and when you're on this stuff. So imagine how that's going to affect TJ Dillashaw getting knocked out by Henry Cejudo, who's in a weight class smaller than you, while you on EPOs.
And the thing is, bro, I'm not like a TJ Dillashaw hater. Like, I don't like. I respect him. I'm not like a fan. Like, I respect him. Don't get me wrong, because of stuff he's done. But it just, there are also things that he's done that make me like, I gotta put the asterisk next to your name, man. Like, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta look at you with a side eye because.
But if he win this fight, all that goes away though.
I don't. But that's not right though. I guess the world ain't fair. Ain't nothing fair but that. What come to your state every.
And I hate to say this, but the big fight would have been Cody versus TJ3. But Cody was losing. You lose 3, 4, 5 fights in a row.
But he was losing because, and look at how he got his record taken anyway.
But after that, I'm talking about you lost like that Petr Munoz fight.
But dude, there's a momentum to losing, bro. Like it sets off a chain reaction. It's like a domino effect. But as far as what Aljamain can do in the fight, man, truth be told, he's been getting better every fight, man. His striking, I believe his striking look better than TJ's. 4th and 5th round, Aljamain will probably slow down a little bit. But also, I think Petr was far more dangerous than TJ. So you got to be on your. I mean, you really got to. He fought the perfect fight to even get the split decision. You don't have to fight necessarily that safely against TJ. You can take a little bit more chances. TJ still got the asterisk by his name. Petr is just dangerous everywhere, man. I mean, literally, this dude is just a monster everywhere. So I don't think he have to worry about all that in this fight, but he still got to fight safe because TJ is the type of person, if you give him enough space and enough opportunity, he'll take the chance.
I think the only opportunity there will be in this fight for TJ is to win a close fight. That's why Aljamain has to finish him.
He got no choice.
I don't care, man, if you gas out in the second round. Okay, you have to at least try to finish him because if this fight go 5 rounds,
you lost
you're not
anyway.
going to win this fight.
It's going to be some type of majority, something where he get a rematch or a split decision. Look, they make this fight for a reason. They want TJ. Dude, TJ skipped up a bunch of people. But man, look, and I know that we're looking at it now. There are people who've won and lost fights since they made the fight or whatever. But I'm saying if you go back and look at when they made this fight, when it was announced, there were probably 3 or 4 people who deserved the title, if not more, people who deserved an opportunity over TJ. But for some reason, they just like him. I mean,
it's so odd because even if you look at Leon Edwards and some of these guys, even like a prime Tony, they had to win 12, 13 fights in a row. Max Holloway, 12, 13 fights in a row. But TJ come back after cheating,
suspension and get a number 1 contender.
Yeah.
A number 1 contender, and then that's crazy.
And then he really fought Corey. Corey was a safe fight because Corey is a top 5 fighter, but he's a safer fight than all the other top 5 because sometimes Corey don't pull the trigger.
I know.
Even though he has knockout power, but he's not as dangerous as other guys.
And man, Corey got the asterisk from getting submitted real quick by Aljamain, and it's like that was kind of over him.